Hey dorks, just a quick message reminding you to head over to twitch.tv/mindgappodcast and give us a follow. We live stream when we record our new podcast episodes, and we're live streaming video game sessions on Saturday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. We're playing super rad stuff like Among Us, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, Jackbox games, and Tabletop Simulator. Come hang out and play along with us. That's twitch.tv/mindgappodcast.
Mind Gap Podcast.
Welcome to Mind Gap Podcast, everybody. I'm Doug.
I'm Justin.
And god damn it, it's good to be here. You know, you all didn't really notice a change. You know?
You guys had us for a solid straight through 2 weeks, no problemo.
Yeah, but I took a week off. I was on vacation, and it was a great vacation, but I missed y'all. I missed you, Justin.
I missed you, man. How was your vacation?
It was good, man. The weather could have been better. It was
everything you hoped it could be?
It was a little chilly for what I was hoping, to see. It was like 40 degrees, which ain't great, but on one day it was 58, and that's the one we took to go up to a tulip farm, which was kind of cool. Dude, you wouldn't believe what we were doing. You'd be like, there's no way. If you had told me, like, if you would have first met me, when you met me at 29, is that when I met you? I was 20. Yeah, I met you when I was 29. I was like, dude.
2014?
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah. I
was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Math. Yeah, you were there when I turned 30. You were there when I turned 30 because you guys got me 30 Coke Zeros. So I remember that's what was,
that's
a big deal.
True, we did. Yeah.
But I remember if you would have been like, dude, when you're 38, you're going to go on a vacation to Michigan. And one of the things you're going to get excited about is going to a windmill farm that has tulips. It's Dutch. And you're going to get real excited about it and you're going to enjoy it.
Can I guess what you would have told me?
Mm.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but go fuck yourself, and I would have eaten a bunch of oatmeal cream pies, and followed by a quad burger.
There it is.
In that order. I would have been oatmeal cream pie first, and then quad burger.
Followed by...
Yep. Dude.
That's how it goes.
I told you this yesterday for a production meeting. I was having just the most revolting farts. They just started at 6:30, and they didn't stop. Happened again today. 6:30 witching hour. My tum-tum was like, it's time. I'm like, who wants to go on a family walk? Let's get them out.
We all need to get out of the house.
You're not going to like it if I stay indoors. Let's go.
All of a sudden, Loki just starts scratching at the door. My nose is so sensitive.
Natalie, when I do that now, Natalie goes, Dad, go in the bathroom if you need to take a dump. I was like, I'm just farting. She's like, go in the bathroom if you need to take a dump.
She's like, I beg to differ. I think you shit your pants, Dad. What are you doing differently?
I don't know, man. I think it's the hard-boiled eggs that I eat. All
right.
I don't eat a platter full of them. I have one with breakfast, and the last 2 days I've had another one at lunch. So, I don't know. They smell like eggs, so I mean...
do that.
But then cool. I have oatmeal with an apple, and I'm not eating like a bunch of garbage, Hard-boiled eggs are literally a fart that you eat. Yeah, they kind of are. And they taste so good.
And here is the sound of a hard-boiled egg.
Not gonna lie, pretty sure I made that noise either last night or tonight or both on my walk.
I'm not gonna.
I've done it to the point where Jill's like, "Oh my god." Yeah, not good.
Are you okay?
Yeah, gross. So immature. Yeah, very. But you know what? When you're eating good, your tum-tum responds, No one told me this was going to happen. No one told me, dude, you're going to have to pee all the time if you drink as much water as they say you're supposed to. And also, your farts are going to be just absolutely just disgusting. Just awful.
So I've showed you pictures of the guy that we roomed with in college. Our fourth roommate, Brandon, the bodybuilder.
I don't think I ever saw that.
No, I've showed you his Instagram.
I don't think so.
The stupid Jack dude?
No.
He's not stupid. He's just stupid jacked.
Gotcha.
He's very brilliant. I assume.
He's a chemist.
He's exactly. He's an astrophysicist. Also, he'll fuck up a barbell. No, so yeah, no, his oh boy, I could have told you your shits and farts we're gonna get your shits and fats, we're gonna get real fucking bad.
Yeah.
Because man, living with that guy, whoo, you learn about what protein does. Oh boy.
Fiber.
Ooh, that was something else.
I mean,
here's the thing. So it was Milos, myself, Bob, and Brandon. Both Milos and Bob, longtime listeners of the podcast. We'll know both of them. Luckily, Milos and I got to room together. Bob got stuck with Brandon.
Oh boy.
And there was every once in a while, Milos and I would be, out late night watching telly and whatever. And Bob would just come out of his room. He's like, I just have to take a breather.
That's what it'd be like rooming with me right now. Like it would just be.
It was not good. Yeah.
The worst. Well, you know what? Here's what I have. Like for dinner, I have a smorgasbord of veggies. Which again, you tell 29-year-old Doug what he's eating for dinner, he'd lose his mind. So here's what I have.
In fairness, you tell 36-year-old Doug.
Also true.
Still would have been fuck you.
You tell 37-year-old Doug.
Right, exactly.
Half a cup cauliflower rice. Half a cup black beans. 1 cup squash. 1 cup mushrooms. And 1 cup broccoli. All put together.
It's 5 cups. 4 cups.
Oh no.
4.5.
I don't know.
Did you just say?
I was like, I don't know how many cups it is. And it's a lot of veggies.
3 full cups, at least 1/2, and then I can't remember.
There's 2 halves, I think, and 3 full cups. So yeah, so 4.
That's 4 cups. Yeah.
4 cups of veggies, baby.
Boom.
Right in this tum-tum.
4 cups of veggies equals. That's math. Check it out.
That is math.
Pull up your TI-89 and do 4 cups of veggies equals.
That happens.
I have missed our sound.
I have missed it, man. I have missed it so much. I was talking with someone who I just met, and they were like, I brought up Twitch because it was relevant, and I go, I do a podcast. Like, oh, what's your podcast? I was like, I told them, I go, just so you know, they're like, I'll have to check it out. I go, just so you know, it's not safe for work. They're like, oh no, I don't mind. I didn't have the heart to be like, we have a curated fart soundboard. I couldn't tell them. They're going to find out, but know.
I would argue, and I haven't done the legwork to back this up, but I would argue that we have one of the best soundboards in the podcast game currently.
I think that's debatable.
I don't know. Show me another podcast that has a better curated fart board. It's a fart
Welcome
board.
to the fart board.
Show me a podcast that has a better curated fart board than us.
You know what, though? It's on brand. That's all I got to say. It's on brand for us. Noah
says
this has to stop. They can't keep getting away with this.
Oh, we can and we will.
Yes. Don't encourage him, Noah. Don't tell Justin what he can't do because he's going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
One of the first things I learned about Justin is like if there's a closed door, he's going to try to figure out how to open it because he wants to know what's behind it.
If there's a rooftop, I will try to get up to that rooftop.
When we worked together, he just started wandering the halls one day. Now, for some reason, I was following him. He's like, how do you get up here? I was like, what are you doing? He's like, just opening, trying doors. I'm like, we're not supposed to be up here. He goes, whatever. And he just starts opening doors. Justin is chaotic good. He's a chaotic good guy. He's just...
I forgot about that. Because the best part about that is why were you following? Like you at any point in time could have gone like this is too much and gone back, but no, there was a party that was curious too.
I think I was worried about you. I was like, what if he gets caught? Like, what are we gonna do? Like
he's gonna go to jail.
I was just like, because we were trying to do something. I don't know if that was when we were like cleaning up the office or whatever. But you were just like, where does this go? And you started like walking around. I'm like, I was a little bit curious.
You talking about in the basement?
It wasn't just in the basement, but it was also.
We found that abandoned. It was almost like a classroom.
Yeah,
remember that?
That was pretty creepy.
Desks in there, and it was like pitch black.
Yeah, it was pretty creepy.
It's a room you would have walked in and left for dead.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, absolutely, yeah. But then we went up to the 4th floor, right?
Yeah, we went all the way to the 4th floor, and you were just like, hey, look, there's a door here that leads to a roof. I know we had a roof, and he's like trying to open it. It's locked, and you like went around. They're like, there should be another one over here. And you're like just trying everything. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I want to see if I can get out there. I'm like, why? He goes, I don't know.
Like I know the schematics of the building. There should be another one around the
corner. You're like, I don't know. You're kind of looking out, putting your head to the, and like, I think there's another door over there. We should go check that out.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't like closed doors. You know what? And I'm just realizing now that I'm very similar to my dog in this regard. I don't like closed doors. If there's a closed door, I'm going to try to get through the motherfucker.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
That reminds me, when I was in college, I was general manager of our radio station. One of the things, like one of the things you do at the end of the year or whatever is you turn off, I think they were the transponders or whatever. There was like these things in every dorm that you had to find out where they were. And they were always in the weirdest spots. And in one of the dorms that I lived in for a year, my freshman year, there's like a cavern below everything. Like they unlock the door and you go down. It's like literally like a cave. And there's barely any light. It just goes on. There's nothing down there. And I was like, I think I talked to one of the girls. It was me and this other guy who worked for the radio station, and this girl, I was like, can you let us down there? And she lets us down there. She walks down there with us. We look around like, God, this is really weird. She just turns to us. She goes, promise me you're not going to rape me. And I go, what the fuck are you talking about? And the other guy goes, don't worry. I won't let anything happen to you. I go, what are you talking about? You're implying that I'm going to do something. I was like, fuck you, dude. Let's get out of here. I don't want this anymore. This is terrible. She was so earnest about it. I was like, no, this wasn't a trick. We're leaving. We're leaving.
Hey,
hand check.
Hey, his name was Trick? What was his name?
I'm not telling you what his name was.
Oh, I thought you just said Trick.
No, it was like, I was like, this is a trick.
Oh, I thought it was like...
Of course his name was Trick. That's totally the guy that would say that.
Right, yeah. Hey, Trick.
Get over here!
I was hoping when you said you had prepped some stuff that this is what it would be. I'm excited for this episode because we got some stuff to talk about. Thanks for getting us back on track, Justin. Should we just start there? Should we just start there since you did that?
Yeah, why not? So wait, real quick, you were saying that it wasn't really nice weather when you guys went on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
But today it was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might even say it was toasty.
If your goal is to annoy me right now, it's not working. Right now, I'm on your side.
I'm on board.
I love a good sound drop, so I'm on board for it.
Yeah.
If you all don't know, there is a new Mortal Kombat movie out on HBO Max. Yeah, that's 0.7 seconds.
Yep.
That's our rule. As if
also,
it means
this
anything.
one is too. And this one.
Put them all together, and you have 1.4. No.
Actually, that's what I should do. I should take like 1 minute of things and just chop it up into 0.7 seconds.
Oh my God.
And then just tick, 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 all the way through.
That's awful. That's awful. That sounds just brutal.
The thing that bugs me the most about these 0.7 seconds is that none of them get you to the payoff. Like even this first one, it's mortal. It's mortal. And then it's like you can't even get Mortal Kombat out. Yeah. None of these give you that payoff. So
I think that's what makes them special.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like one of those things that, it grabs you and you're like, wait, is that something I know? And then you play a fun game. It's like, what is that?
Right. Exactly.
I want to find a way for you to test my Marvel Cinematic Universe knowledge, like of music. And I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it where we don't get our shit pulled. Like, because I want to do it so bad, but I'm like, we could probably do it on Twitch, but we'll probably just have to get rid of the VOD.
Want me to? I'm sorry. You said you want me to?
I want to do a game where you're like, here is original soundtrack from a Marvel movie. Can you guess what it is? Yes. I want to do that game.
When you said you want me to test, I thought you were going to ask me.
Test your might.
Yeah, my intellectual might, my knowledge.
Yes. Absolutely.
Tint says, yeah, you'll have to nuke the VOD. Yeah, probably. And
what are you going to do?
Also, don't think that's safe for a podcast either, to play all these things. Like just scores from these films, probably not going to play out.
Full scores, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Because we kind of pseudo-tested this at one point, and you were like scary on. Mm-hmm. I think there was only like 1 or 2 you missed, and I think I played you like 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about it. I love it.
Yeah.
Just put it on YouTube. They're totally cool.
Ding.
Yep. That's good. But anyway, Mortal Kombat. It's a renewed version, a reboot, a reimagining of the classic arcade game, the violent arcade game that captured our hearts, our minds, and maybe our dicks, depending on
that Laura Bush went after hardcore.
Right. I remember like seeing that in the arcade and going like immediately. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was into it, man.
Right.
I was so into it, and
like you walked into the arcade, and the arcade game almost said to you,
Get over here!
"Yeah, right." And it was like, "Yes, please. I will."
Okay,
I'm there. I'm totally there.
Yeah.
And
I loved that game when I was a kid.
I remember getting the game on Super Nintendo where they basically got rid of all the violence. Like there was no blood, and
right.
all the fatalities were different.
Yes.
Completely different.
I had it on Genesis on Sega, and it had all the goodness in there.
That's where I was like, Sega was like cooler at that time because they had Sonic, and there was like Mortal Kombat. We don't censor shit, you know.
And it had Shaq Fu.
That's right.
Which I had.
And I was good at.
And I rocked it.
But I gotta say this once again, just right out of the gate. Never would have given this movie a second thought if it was just in theaters. Never would have. I wouldn't have even bothered. I'd be like, I know what this is. I don't need it. But because it's on streaming, I'm like, fuck it. I'm on vacation. Let's watch this. You know?
Yeah.
I was actually looking forward to it. I'm like, I'm going to watch the finale to the Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm going to watch the next episode of Invincible. And then I'm going to watch Mortal Kombat. I'm like, let's fucking do this.
That Friday, I was like, there's a lot of stuff to consume.
I was like, this is going to be a great night, you know?
Right.
So I watched it. I had extremely, because I remember watching the trailer and just going like, yeah, I'm not into it. I'm not feeling it. Like, I know what this is, but I don't need it. I don't need this in my life. And so I had extremely low expectations going into it. Spoiler alert. We're going to get into this. Not that there's really much to spoil. There's a bunch of fighting.
If you don't want this spoiled, I suppose skip forward 15 minutes. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But it was surprisingly enjoyable. Like, I took it at complete face value. And there were moments where I cringed a little bit, but I was like, yeah, that's kind of what this movie's doing, you know?
Yes. I agree with you. It was a shit movie. This movie was bad. Like, straight up bad.
Yeah, so...
Like, it was bad. Like come on. It was this movie cost $50 million to make. I have two questions. Where did the money go, and why?
It went into that green screen scene with the harpy lady, which I'm like, am I supposed to know who you are? Because I don't know who you are. I don't remember you. That, and there's the other guy that's like the general with the hammer. I'm like, are you from a later... Fucking baffling. Did you see it? It just keeled over. If you're on Twitch, you just got to see that happen. Just...
real time.
That one won't stay up there. I've got more sticky stuff than any other thing, and that one just caves over. I'm glad you got to see it.
Staple gun.
There we go. Nails will work. Yeah.
Nails will work. Yeah. What general guy with the
So there's the guy with a hammer, like he was one of the bad guys, and he came out there like, General, I'm so glad you could join us.
Oh yeah.
He had no lines.
That guy at all.
I was like, who are you? You're a rando. I was like, of the entire roster, we couldn't find anyone else.
Well, here's the other thing too. Like, let's start here because let's see.
I love how Tint goes, I want soundproofing tile as an emote now. I'm like, I respect that. I've got slots for emotes. It's gonna be one.
We can do that. Yeah. So I'm just gonna rattle off character names, and let's play
a game. I want you to make some up, and I want you to see if I can tell whether or not they're real or not.
Well, no. Here's my thing. So Scorpion, Liu Kang, Raiden, Shang Tsung, Kano, Shao Kahn,
Hank,
Goro, Cabal, Baraka, Cole.
Is Cole an actual character?
His name is he's a new stupid character who's got a athletic shirt for a special power.
Hey, that thing wicks away the sweat, okay?
He's got an Under Armour shirt.
Literally Under Armour. It traps the heat.
That's the other thing. Is Cole's basically, is that Wakandan technology? Does it hold kinetic energy so that he can uppercut people?
No. I mean, kinda.
Use your uppercut, Dad.
Dad, press high, crouch, press down, and then hit high punch.
I have so many just fucking.
What I found about that, what I thought was funny about that is these characters. Well, here's what I'll say. I actually appreciated how they tried to explain how these characters have superpowers, because in the older movies, this shit happens and you're like, huh? And they're like, you know what? Actually, if you're chosen, you have to try and unlock this arcanum, like this your arcanum or whatever it's called. And it's something as you will have a superpower. I'm like, I actually really appreciate that, because it kind of gets away from in the game. All these people can shoot fireballs and do all sorts of shit. It's like, how? It's like, oh, well, it's part of the universe. And so I appreciated that. But what I find funny is that Cole is known for being a punching bag. Like, that's his thing right out the gate. They're like, here he is. He's a punching bag. You watch him get the shit beat out of him all the time. And other Arcanums are like, oh, Jax gets like full-on awesome metal arms. You've got Kano who gets a laser eye.
I want to come back to Jax in a minute.
For sure.
Continue.
You get Liu Kang who gets fireballs. You get Kung Lao who gets razor frisbee hat. All right? His is like, hey, you get hit a lot, here's some armor, because you're going to need it because you suck. That's how I took it. I was like, that's funny.
He's got a blade and a police baton that comes out of each arm. Sure.
I was so confused because I kept waiting for him to turn into Scorpion, which I thought would have been a better turn, was that
Thank you.
He would have like become, because there were some cool moments here where I was like, oh, this could get dark and awesome if they wanted to. Because part of the thing was with this movie is that Scorpion is Cole's long ancestor who was killed by Sub-Zero.
Right. Great, whatever grandfather.
And the idea was that he was so angry and he wanted revenge, he went down to hell. And I thought, how cool would it be if that transferred over to Cole? And not only that, the way that Cole unlocks his Arcanum is if his family dies in front of him. I was like, are they going to kill his wife and kid just like his ancestor did? And then because of that, he taps into his rage and he gets visited by the spirit of his ancestor who like hands him the hook and is like, get your revenge. And he takes it and he becomes consumed by everything and he becomes Scorpion. And and then he goes and just like obliterates them. I think it would have been cooler if he would have had some more contact with Sub-Zero too in that regard, but obviously,
Yeah. I do think, I mean, I like the idea that they had the everyone from that same clan, the last remaining members of that clan had to join Scorpion and Cole. It's such a stupid name. It's a bro name. All right. Hey, Cole, you going to go fight in a Mortal Kombat?
See, I don't see it as a bro name. I see it as a super white suburban rural America name. Like Cole and Tanner are going to go hang out for a sleepover with Mackenzie,
right. No, I like the I understand what they were doing with, like, okay, it's the last two surviving members theoretically of this clan that needed to come together and fight. I get it. I do think it would have been far more interesting if he had embodied, or if he had been possessed by the spirit of his ancestor, because at this point, like, you need to draw blood with this gardening hoe that your ancestor used, and then he'll come back as a ghost and fight this other guy.
Because that's the thing too, is you keep seeing Cole getting visions, right? Like, it almost leads you to believe it's going to happen because he's seeing these things. It's flashing to him. It's like, oh, he's going to become Scorpion. It's like, no, he's got the blood-soaked garden dagger tucked into his back and it's getting sweaty. So the blood's running down his leg. And then
the blood-soaked flower dagger.
Yeah. The blood-soaked flower dagger is going to be what summons it.
That's Doug. What that is? That's bad filmmaking. Is what that is.
It's bad storytelling for sure. Again, not good.
No, let's not have Scorpion embody him. Let's give him an Under Armour shirt that has Wakandan technology, and then we'll just make Scorpion appear.
Right.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and he gets his revenge and everything,
There was only two.
I forgot. Slotty goes, it's a kunai. Just in the mall, ninja should know that. I forgot because you got your own.
Yes.
Your own stuff, your own ninja weapons.
100% from South Park Mall in the Quad Cities. You're welcome, South Park. Hope you're doing well down there. There's only two fight scenes that I thought were worth a fucking damn in this whole movie, and it was the first one between Hanzo and Binhan, and the last one between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. It's the same two dudes fighting in different alter egos, and they open and close the movie. Those are the only two fights that I found remotely fascinating. Other than that, it seemed like they got like the director went like, I went to an art school. There was this dance instructor that I was trying to bang while I was there. So I'm going to get this dance choreographer and hey, can you choreograph fights? Come on over. Wait, hold on. Can you choreograph fights?
Get over here!
And choreograph this fight.
Nice save. I'm glad you did that.
I watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation today. That movie has 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is deplorable.
Yeah.
But the original Mortal Kombat that came out 2 years prior, I would argue that some of those fight scenes are on par with the fight scenes we saw in this film.
I have to unfortunately rewatch that again. I don't really want to, but
you shouldn't. I don't. But like, just take my word.
I remember going to the movie theater, and even with a lot of my friends, people were like, "This movie sucks." Like, it was just so weird.
Not a good movie. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. This 2021 movie only has about 10% more on Rotten Tomatoes than the 1995 movie. Yeah. So like, not a lot better as far as critics and audiences are concerned.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It when this movie first came out, or when it was announced and the trailer came out, there were elements of it that you and I thought were really fucking cool. And I remember us talking about how cool would the storyline be if they did away with the fan service and they said, we're going to take these characters and we'll keep their powers and we might not explain them, but we'll keep the powers and the essence of the characters, but we're just going to put them in an espionage setting or some sort of like a war movie setting or something where, like, if Sonya telling Cole that, 7 years ago we were on a mission in Bogota or whatever the fuck they were, and we ran into this and he tore through us like we were nothing, and it was like this uncatchable assassin that this special ops team has been going after, and he's for some reason got this power, but they've found people who also have powers and they brought them in. That could be a really interesting, like, take the tournament thing, throw it away, throw all the the dogma in this realm away, and take these characters and put them in something really dark and fucking gritty. I think that would be that's the way to go. But of course, the fanboys are going to lose their minds if you do that.
Well, I think it's funny because like they sort of tiptoed around the tournament because they talked about how they,
True.
they weren't going to do a tournament, but essentially they had a tournament,
More or less. Yeah, exactly.
They did what they do in every X-Men movie, which is they pair off and fight, instead of fighting as a team, they just line up with some other stuff and,
their counterparts. Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting. I think
what pissed me off the most was like I got excited, little goosebumps when I heard
"Get over here!"
That was cool because I'm like, that's Scorpion. But like when Kung Lao, when he finished, he goes, "Flawless victory." I'm like, first off, it wasn't flawless. You got hit many times. Second,
by the harpy?
You don't say that.
Not by the harpy.
You don't say that. The announcer says it. The voiceover says it.
Yeah, see, that's... Uh-oh. Hold on.
You don't say that.
Yeah, so like I think for me... No, it's cool. It's cool. My computer just burped for a second. No, I think for me, what I struggle with, there's moments where they're super serious. Like, super serious. And I was into it. Like, the opening 10 minutes is pretty serious, Like, Assassin's happening. Good. It's really good. And then they start getting into, like, really ridiculous shit. Like, they just go from take us seriously to, flawless victory. Or they say something really cheesy on purpose. Right. And it's like, I was like, I'm on board with like, oh my God, he's picking up the flower knife and he's tying a rope to it. And he's like, yeah, it's like, oh, that's probably Scorpion, you know? And like all this, you're seeing this ice, like that's probably Sub-Zero. You know, like you're seeing some of these things and, but then you get like some really ridiculous stuff where, you know, you get to Gary, Indiana, where Sonya is, you know, which
I'd like
I'm
to
like,
talk
hey,
like this for at least an hour. Yes. Like, what the fuck?
What
are we doing in Gary, Indiana?
What? It's tax credits, man.
Sure.
I mean, we don't know that was Gary. I mean, probably wasn't. I mean, for all we know, but.
Oh my. Yeah.
What's up?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Moving on. Gary, Indiana.
But we go there and it's like, Sonya's like, check out this ridiculous junkyard. I mean, also I have this really nice, like, detailed layer of where I've been studying all the signs. It's like exposition dump, you know, which I'm like, fine. I guess we have to explain that there's some sort of tournament of champions that's happening. You know, reptiles attack. You know, Kano's chained up, which I gotta say, Kano stole the movie.
Kano
stole the movie.
100%. I'll say he stole the movie until like the last third of it. And towards the last third of it, I was like, you're trying too hard now. Because apparently this actor improv'd a lot of his lines. And well done for most of the movie, but there was a part where it turned. You know what I had the biggest issue with was what any scene inside the temple. Any scene where they were in that the cave area or the side of the cliff, wherever the fuck that was, that whole, like, he just instinctually knew I've got to go and like laser eye this random dagger thing that's gonna take down the, like, none of that made any sense.
No,
none of them being in there. Very lazy training. And how his archaea came out was that he got bullied at the dinner table and he got angry. Like, you guys. You're being mean to me. Knock it off. You're making me feel bad.
Because that's who he is, right? He's very flamboyant. He talks more than he should because he's insecure, and they pulled that out of him. Why am I looking for meaning in this, Justin? Why? Why am I breaking this down? Like,
I don't know. It was just bad.
I enjoyed it. I don't know why. Like, it's just like he stole the show from me.
You're a flawed human being.
I guess. I mean, I don't make sense. I know that much. But his shit too, like when he was just like, his stuff felt improvised and it was so good. I love it when he was like, he saw Liu Kang shoot fireballs. He's like, oh shit, are you telling me I'm going to shoot fireballs? All right, just show me how to do that. Like, how'd you do that? He starts talking shit. Like when he gets this thing, he's like, lasers! Yeah! It's way better than fireballs. That's some of that pussy shit right there. Like, I was laughing out loud, and Joe was looking at me. I'm like, this guy is fucking making this movie for me. Like, he is.
He definitely was good. I don't know. Like, you got bullied at a dinner table, and his fucking power came out. It just seemed, we couldn't do better. I don't know. It just seemed odd to me. And it's as if Liu Kang and I think it was Kung Lao.
Yeah.
As if they knew that was going to happen. Like they gave each other this knowing glance. I'm like, you didn't know that was going to work. Fuck you.
Dude, they've been doing this for years, you know? They've been doing it for years. They understand how it is. Yeah, I mean, this thing was like very much loosely stitched together to get people from point A to point B. Like, I love how she just, like, Sonya goes, I'll give you $3 million. And he didn't even, like, Kano didn't even, he's like, cool, I know somebody. It's like, you're not even going to ask for advance payment? Like.
Right. At least half up front?
And Cole's like, do you have that? She goes, no, look at me. I live in this shithole. It's like anyone could tell that. Like, it's so weird. I also thought it was weird that, like, when Sub-Zero fights Jax in the beginning and, like, you know, freezes his arm off, like, he doesn't go into, like, double tap and kill. Like, he doesn't seem like the guy that would just accidentally leave a guy alive. Like, he freezes his arms off, he pushes him down, and he's just laying there. He's like, yeah, he's probably dead. He doesn't even check. He just walks off. I'm like, dude, you're like a super assassin. Like, you think that you definitely would want to check that out. Like, to make sure, like, at least make sure the mark disappeared off his body, you know?
Right. That's a good point. Right. Exactly. Like, it's true, because he looks down and he's like, all right.
He's like,
good job. Like, he pats himself. Good job, me.
He's like, I'm hungry. I'm out of here.
I'm gonna go get some froyo.
Yeah, right? Like,
or just yo, and I'm gonna make it froyo.
Yeah, it's just so weird.
But let's talk about Jax's what is it? Arcanum powers, whatever. Like he Tony Stark's his arms. Like that's not a power. Those aren't even your arms. I like vehemently disagree with how that happened.
I gotta understand what your problem is with it.
So he got his arms frozen off, and they put robot arms on, and his power is that those robot arms got enhanced.
Mm-hmm.
So the power is supposed to live in you from the beginning, right? And it just kind of manifests itself. What if he never had robot arms?
No, I think
his arms have just metallicized.
Well, I think it kind of like adapts to your situation, right? It finds because Cole, right, gets the shit beat out of him. Here's some golden armor, you know. Kano gets laser eyes. You know, Liu Kang gets fireballs. You know,
you're just listing their powers.
I am. Sonya's, you know, her things are in the game, right? Pew pew. Her cool like stuff that she has.
The purple ring lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was that didn't bother me.
Hey,
it's like
you have a hat. We're gonna make that.
let's make it a saw, and it's like Captain America's shield. It comes right back to you.
Right, exactly.
It's Cap's shield and Mjolnir all in the same thing.
And a circular saw.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. It just Well,
because part of it was I'm like, well, he's got to get super arms at some point because that's who he is as his character. So maybe that's why it didn't bother me. I'm like, this has to happen.
Well, that's the thing too. I'm like, well, yeah, these arms are like he's got puss arms right now.
Yeah,
he can't even, open a jar of peanut butter.
He can't punch a bag for shit. You know. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, because that's his thing. I mean, because in the moment when his Arcanum came out, he was trying to lift it and he couldn't, right? And so strength was in his arms, not his back. You know, he should have gotten like a super back. You know.
So like, what if? So you're saying the thing that you're doing that you're struggling with. So like, if you're just like having trouble getting it up as you're having sex, like now all of a sudden you've got. Dick.
If that's where you have to go to get to unlock your Arcanum, I mean.
I guess.
Again, Cole's was like, you're getting the shit kicked out of you. Protect yourself. Here, have some armor, you know?
Here, this is going to help you.
Yeah, like that's what he had to go with.
Can we talk about Cole's daughter? She is a psychopath.
How so?
Well, also horrible parenting by mom and dad. Because the mom's like, this is too violent. I have to leave. And the daughter's like, I'll stay.
No, it's not because it's violent. She says, I can't watch him fight. She can't watch him get hurt.
I can't. It's too much. I can't do this.
Yeah, she can't watch someone she loves get attacked. She can watch other shit. She watches dog fights. You know, it's all good. Bum fights. She's all for it. You know, cockfights. Right. She is there. She has her own franchise. You know.
Speaking of the Arcanum, yeah. But no, like this. So she's like, I can't watch someone I love get beat to shit. And the daughter's like, I can.
Yeah.
Let me watch it, Dad.
Right.
And then she's like, use the uppercut, Dad. As if that is some secret ability he's always had. Because then she says it again when he's got the, Wakandan Under Armour shirt on. And it's the fireball uppercut or whatever. So.
No, you're confusing that with Street Fighter 2, Justin. There's no fireball uppercut.
His fist glowed when he uppercut it.
Yeah, but you don't you careful now. We don't want to get sued.
You're right. We don't want to get sued. Which is why we only play 0.7 seconds of things. No, but like she's calling for him to use the uppercut both times, which means one of two things. Either A, it's always been a special move, and she knew that if he used it previously, she would have murdered a guy in the octagon, or two, she's an idiot.
No, uppercut is an actual boxing move, right?
You're right. It is an actual punch. Yes.
So
but why special? Why is his uppercut going to do anything different than the 700 other blows that he just delivered?
Because it's like you've sparred, right? You know, yes, there's an opportunity where it's like they're weak. Use your uppercut because they're not paying attention. Pop them on the chin, right? It'd be the same thing as like do your jab, do your hook, do the combo. Or if it's like you're wrestling, it's like go for the legs, like shoot, do this move. He's leaning forward, do an ankle pick. It's part of the repertoire. And he's just like, she's watching because she's his coach. She's seen him fight enough. She's like, that's an opportunity. You got to take it. Or as Slotty says, do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. I think it's
He wasn't going to kill anyone with his fiery uppercut because he didn't unlock his Arcanum yet. And she didn't know what it was either.
Then why is she so insistent on an uppercut?
Because it was an opportunity. Because
she's told, like, from the beginning, she's like, use your upper. Like, the uppercut was like, it was set up to be this thing that he did. It was called out multiple times.
Twice. It's called out twice.
Sure, I'll give it to you. I don't know. Twice. But the fact that it was called out once before the ultimate, the fact that it was called out twice means that they were setting it up. So again, why is this uppercut so special in the beginning?
I don't think it's special.
It's not. You're right. It's not.
I think again, it's just there was an opportunity. Hey man, you should throw an uppercut. You probably would have knocked him out. You know.
I wish we could pull the clip right now because the way it is set up, it is if she's telling him like, Dad, use the special move.
Okay, I didn't see it that way, but
I'm a little psycho.
How is she a psycho?
Because she wants to watch her dad get beat up.
No, she wants to see her dad murder someone. That's love. She's ride or die, Justin.
So you're admitting that the uppercut can murder the guy.
Slotty says you can tell Doug just had the vacation because the guy who normally hates stuff is offering a vigorous defense here. I just think it's funny because I did not interpret it that way at all. And you're just like, it's like this special move. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like she's like, you had a missed opportunity. And the same thing with girls. She's like, God damn it, man. It's right there. Fucking uppercut him. It's wide open, man. Take the shot.
The way she's calling it out is not like, hey, you've got this random opening for this one move. It is use the move. That's how she's calling it out. That's what it's supposed to be.
I guess we're going to have to watch it again, Justin, and see, you know?
Guys, we're going to pause the podcast right now.
Watch party. Let's do it.
We definitely cannot use this VOD then.
No.
But that's fine. Yeah.
I think the other thing I really enjoyed was it's like as much as they want you to take it seriously, there are also some really nice nods to the game. Like the part where Liu Kang just constantly leg sweeps Kano.
Thank you. Sorry, Seth. Thank you. Slotty says, it sounds like she's saying, use your finishing move from the way it's being described. That is exactly it. The way she's saying it is like, deliver the blow that we know is going to win.
I didn't see it that way, but I guess I'll have to go back and rewatch it.
Damn it.
I just was like, again, I've said it many times. She's like, you missed an opportunity. It was open. You didn't take it. You could have won if you would have thrown an uppercut. His chin was available. But I liked how like the part where Liu Kang was just continuously leg sweeping Kano because that was a viable option in the game. At one point in time, it was so annoying, and like Kano just goes, and he's like, is that the only move you're going to do? And then he jumps, and then he doesn't move it, and then he lands, and goes, fuck, and he gets him again because he just waited a second. I was like, well done. That's pretty funny. That's good. That's good stuff.
There were a couple nods like that where I was like, oh, that's clever. Like they definitely teased the fanboys. Yeah.
Could have really...
The fan people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I could have really done without the old Mortal Kombat music at the end. Really didn't need that. Like when it kicked in, I was like, that wasn't a really great song to begin with. And it's like, we can't shed what was before. For some reason, they're like, we have to hang on to this legacy, man. We can't let go.
This is it.
It's like, I didn't need that. I didn't need that at all.
No. But overall, this movie, again, and I said this to you off mic, this movie feels like they said, well, we have $50 million. Let's give it to like an indie film director that has 3 short films under his belt, and let's have him handle this IP.
Mm-hmm.
And the indie film director's like, oh, I could do some cool shit, I guess. It just felt very thrown together, not professionally done. It didn't land for me. There were moments that were fun, but overall, I was like, this is a bad movie.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. It's not a good movie.
Bad movie. No.
And
also, it's funny. I was talking with Rob earlier about this too, and like $50 million. Think about how much money that is. And when Hanzo in the beginning puts the sword in the top of the guy's head, the blood that in Noah, the first thing I thought was, how much does Noah hate this right now?
Mm-hmm.
The blood that comes out of his head, you can see the tracking like wobble on it. It is horrendous. And then when he kicks him, the blood that comes out. I'm like, oh, this is student film shit. Like this is not even After Effects. This is the free version that someone downloaded.
I mean,
Horrible.
I'll say that. I'll give you that. But Goro, fantastic. Really well done. You know? He looked like he was really there.
Goro looked all right.
He didn't. I'm joking. He didn't look good
Goro
at all.
Looked all right.
Lots of action essentials, blood pack.
There you go.
Yeah, the blood was like, yeah, this is intentionally supposed to be gory and it's supposed to be very splashy, but I was just like, it stands out for all the wrong reasons.
Here's the thing. So are Quentin Tarantino movies. And that looks real.
Yeah.
There you go.
Goro looked like a handicapped Hulk. That's what it looked like to me.
Hey, you guys!
He looks like Chunk. Not Chunk, Sloth. He looks like Sloth version of Hulk.
If Sloth and a Hulk had a bastard child, it would have been Goro in this movie. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Goro in the original one, I personally think looked better.
Those puppets.
Yep. Absolutely. All four arms doing this at the same time.
I just love it. Like they feel like they had to bring in Goro. I'm like, you don't have to bring in the four-armed monster into this at all.
I know.
Like,
and again, my question is too: are they setting this up as they did in 1995 for a sequel? Because now Shang Tsung's got to come in, or Shao Kahn has to come in, and he's got to, do whatever he does.
I also hate that they're like, you see all these characters that are dead, and they're like, death is just another realm. I'm like, oh, so they're not dead? Cool. We're going to bring them back? Nice. All this meant nothing. Thanks.
Right.
There
were There were so many small things that I wish I had written down so we could talk about.
No, to answer, he goes, I'm surprised. I'm wondering why our boy Cole got weapons. He's a hand-to-hand guy. Because Cole gets his ass beat. He needs armor and weapons to even the playing field, because that's how bad he is. At least that's what the movie tells us. And he's just gets his ass kicked. That's all he's good for. So his Arcanum's like, God damn it, we got to keep him alive. This is the best we can do.
He needs something to aid in that uppercut that his daughter so desperately wants him to throw.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
There was one other thing I wanted to bring up that I loved how at the end there was like the Easter egg to Johnny Cage. It's like, I gotta go to Hollywood. It's like Cage. I'm like, oh boy, there's the big reveal. It's like, who gives a shit?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they're desperately like, hey, Warner, we could do a sequel if you got an extra 50 mil laying around.
Right?
We could do it.
I love it too. They didn't even show his face. They're like, we don't have anyone, so we're just going to show the belt buckle that says Cage.
Right. That was so, yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people they could bring back for the second one, Doug. Oh my goodness.
Man, I was really bummed because Melina, like, one of the cool things about her was like she, her teeth and everything. You don't really get to see that used, Like,
no,
she's
not
just
at all. That mouth, yeah.
Yeah, she really focused on the whole like teleporting thing, and yeah, I don't know, man. It was. I
do like the fact that they gave Scorpion his teleporting ability.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that was overlooked. Well, no, I guess in the first one, can't remember if that was overlooked or not. But that to me, because I used to use the shit out of that when I played the video games. So I was glad that they kept that in there.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, you know what you're getting with this movie. It's just like Godzilla versus King Kong. You know what the movie is. Like,
I don't feel like it's fair to compare this to Godzilla versus King Kong compared to this movie was a good movie.
Yeah. I would just say that you shouldn't. There's no surprises here. There's nothing about this movie where you're like, oh, it's like you know what this is. You know what this is.
Godzilla vs. Kong made for?
Probably a lot.
Hold please.
How can you measure how successful these things are on streaming services? Is it by views? Because
between 155 to 200 million dollars, so significantly more.
Yeah. So how are you
if
supposed?
They had that budget, they could have made that blood look real.
Right. It would have been real blood.
It would have been real blood.
How do you measure success with this?
They made $406 million at the box office. Kong did, or Godzilla vs. Kong did. That must be
because I guess technically this yeah, of course, this obviously is also released in theaters. So I guess, is that how they're measuring success, or are they measuring eyeballs on this?
Honestly, that's something I don't know. Like I I don't quite understand what Warner Brothers is, what they're doing per se. Like what are they, like I don't understand if, like, how do you measure, is one subscription worth straight $15, or is it worth an annual, or is it like, is it whenever a movie comes out, how many subscribers do you have that month? That's what the box office number, like, I don't know.
Do they view how many people viewed it from start to finish? Like, is that considered a win?
Yeah, I mean, Netflix used to do how many people watched it for at least 2 minutes, because the extrapolating that they could tell that if you watched it for at least 2 minutes, you watched most of the movie. Which everyone at the very beginning, everyone thought that was the dumbest fucking metric to measure by. So now Netflix is actually reporting, when they report numbers, they're reporting full, like, more accurate view times and etc. But I don't know. I mean, they have the ability to know that shit. I just don't know. Like right now, the box office, its budget was 55. Its box office gross currently is 50.1. So it's almost made what the production, and that's not even for A&R. So like that's just, so you usually double it. So we're talking about at least $100 million that it needs to bring back into break even. I don't know, man. I honestly, or not A&R, PNR, but I really don't know how Warner is measuring success in 2021. This was a giant gamble for them to put their entire 2021 slate day and date, and I don't know how they're measuring success. I think that would be fascinating to talk to someone from Warner and just get an idea of what they're like. What's the game plan here? What are you gleaning from this?
Because I gotta say, there has been a lot of buzz around this, at least from my perspective, for these things. Like,
sure,
Godzilla versus Kong, and like now whether or not you can consider that success, I don't know. I mean, people are at least talking about it, and for me, again, I'm watching content I would otherwise normally just ignore, because I'd be like, I'm not going to the movie theater to see that. Fuck that. And so I actually, in my opinion, I think Warner is winning on this right now because they're getting their stuff in front of people. Sure. And I don't know if maybe that necessarily equates to financial success, but I think it equates to some level of success, because I think if you do the math, maybe you're getting in front of more eyeballs, which, I mean, maybe that means something in the long run. I don't know, but I think that's pretty successful.
But like the question, I guess the question is, how many subscribers are you retaining? How many are doing the free 7-day trial? How many people are sharing passwords? I feel like there's so many variables. It's hard to know. Well, I guess the same thing goes for Netflix, because I just heard today that Netflix is planning to spend, in the next year, they're planning to spend $17 billion on new content, on original content, which is astra-fucking-nomical.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you measure your ROI on that?
That's the key on everything, right?
Getting that back, yeah.
The key to everything is like, how do you measure whether or not what you did was working? You know what I mean? Noah says you base it on Twitter search results, and Metronome says base it on how many Reddit memes there are. Those are how you measure success.
I feel like both are very valid. Yeah,
for sure.
Very valid. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've heard the rumors about Netflix saying like they will only keep a series going if there's a buzz. Like there has to be more than just it's got to create a conversation.
Right, which is hard, and also, I mean, I agree and I disagree with that methodology, right? Like, because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it takes 2-3 seasons for a show to get a buzz. For example, look at Schitt's Creek. It wasn't until Netflix picked it up in about season 4 or 5 that it really started to get a buzz. And if it would have started on Netflix, it would have been canned after the first season, almost assuredly. But now it's like this award season, it fucking swept the Emmys. The last 2 award seasons it did.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily agree with Netflix's decision. You're throwing so many things. They're almost playing against themselves, because they're throwing so much content out there. They're diluting they're diluting what's out there. It's impossible to find a singular show to rally around. If they were to, shrink the amount of content they're putting out there, then people could find a show, glom onto it, and be like, this show's fucking great. But it's a shotgun blast. And like, there are people who are like, oh, have you watched this show? I've never heard of it. There are literally too many shows, originally produced movies and shows on Netflix to get excited about. Name me one Netflix original that has staying power like something that has come out in the theater.
The Witcher
movie. The Witcher wouldn't come out in the theater.
The movie.
Their
movies typically are like their movies are typically like I gloss over them. Nothing really. I'm like, exactly. Ooh, I gotta watch that.
And in fairness, there are some good movies. Like Roma, for example, won an Oscar, but how many people saw it because it got buried?
Yeah.
It's one of those where Netflix doesn't. I don't think they're looking for. They're not looking for the staying power, the longevity in their movies. It's how many things, how much can we crank out? And sure, it's one way of doing it. I don't know if it's the right way for me.
Yeah, it's funny because on the flip side of that, I heard Jeff Garland talking about the model, and he goes, God, Netflix, thank you. Only put me in something for 3 seasons, and then we'll make something else. And then we'll make something else. He's like, I don't want to be locked in to 15 seasons of something. Sure. Like, I just want to do 3 and then get out. Like, I'm cool with that. That's fine.
It's a very BBC model.
Right. Yeah. Like, he's like, I'm totally cool with that. I don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Right. Which is totally cool. But again, when you're putting that much out, I feel like you're playing against yourself. Like, I think that's the thing. I'm all for keeping it small. Like Ted Lasso, for example. I was, talking with you and Slotty about this the other day, how much I love it. And they have said that they're only committing to 3 seasons because they're like, we've got the story plotted out. We know where we want these characters to go, and then we're done. And I think that's brilliant because you're putting a nice bow on this thing, very much like Christopher Nolan's Batman series. Like he did a beginning, middle, and end. He put a bow on it, put it on a shelf, and said, "That's there. Do whatever else you want with this property. That's mine."
Mm-hmm.
And like you can go and revisit that. And he's not doing 25 movies like Bond. Like it's not this thing that's going to get old. So I'm okay with that. But when you put that many things out, it's just it's impossible for anything to gain traction.
I think it depends on what your goal is. I think if your goal is to just tell your story and you can do that in 3 seasons, then great. If your goal is to tell an ongoing thing, and you like, this is going to take 8 or 9 seasons to get to and so on and so forth, then, I think that's a different story. But if it's something like, you got $17 billion, can I have, I don't know, 10 million of that to work on this small thing that I want to do and like get it out there in front of, some folks and just tell this quick story and then be good? Maybe it's profitable, maybe it's not, like the amount of stuff that they're sort of pumping out on the regular. And, on the business side of things, they got to keep people interested. You know what I mean? Like they've got to keep people on the platform. There's obviously just assloads of competition of other platforms. Are like, how do we keep people here? What do we need to do next? Like, how do we keep people just watching and consuming the content? So it's like, I get it, but I also understand that as a viewer, goddamn, like there's not even, I don't even try anymore. I just kind of like, I will go, and if I find something, I'm like, all right, like I'm going to give Shadow and Bone a try.
Sure.
Figured I'll give that a try. I also saw, was it Love and Robots and Death or something like that?
Yeah, there was like a new anime series.
Yeah, it looked like something, it looked like Black Mirror. So I'm like, yeah, I'll check that out. But outside of that, I'm not going to go exploring for things unless I'm randomly, sometimes I'm like, I'm going to go to all the streaming services I have to see what's there and see if there's anything that grabs my attention. Love, Death, and Robots. Thank you, Noah. Shadow and Bow sounds like the kind of sex move Doug would try. Goddamn right.
Boom.
You know what I mean? If you were gonna do the Shadow and Bone move in bed, Justin, what would it be?
If I'm gonna do the Shadow and Bone, first and foremost, you pull the covers all the way over you, so it's pitch black, and then you just start thrusting.
It doesn't matter what's there; you just start thrusting.
And you cross your fingers.
So what I figured is it's kind of like an espionage thing, you know? You're lurking around the house, and when you find the other person, you put a bag over their head, like a cloth, not a plastic bag, but one of those bags they do so you can't see where you're going, and then you bone. You're like, ha, bone, shadow and bone, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Metronome says, use a flashlight to show your bone on the wall before you enter.
Oh, I'm into that. Shadow puppets with your boner.
Noah says, throw a foreskin into a pillowcase and put it over their head. I don't know. I don't get it, but hey, we're off to the races here.
Do I have to have a foreskin at the ready, like just in a box somewhere? Because I don't.
Your mom doesn't have that in a jar at your house?
I'd rather not talk about it. Oh boy.
You know what? There's another move that you can do. That's it's like Shadow and Bone. It's a little more aggressive. It does involve a little bit of blood. But at the end of the day, you know, usually you do it, and if you're lucky, only one person comes out alive. Do you know what that is?
I think I remember hearing about this. This was called
Welcome to the Throwdown.
I did the segue this time.
You did it.
I was like, am I going to be able to pull this off? I did.
I am floored that the entire episode was about Mortal Kombat.
You know what? I'm happy about it. I'm really happy about it.
We had two other things to talk about, and fuck them.
Holy, very much didn't get to him, and I'm like, whatever. Fuck it.
It's fine.
We're good.
Not
We're totally cool with it.
Yeah.
We're totally cool with it.
Oh my god. All right, cool.
All right, well, let's get to this week's throw. This one is a very special one. This one has been cultivated from our very own Discord community. Which I just realized I didn't do my stuff up at the top like I normally do. It just dawned on me now.
I had the same thought, yeah.
Just dawned on me now. But yeah, so this one's cold from our Discord. So by the way, hop in our Discord if you want to get on this. This week's throwdown is Jonny 5 versus Wally.
Round 1. Fight!
Nice. So Jonny 5 is the main character from the beloved 80s franchise called Short Circuit. And Wally's from some fucking movie that Disney made.
Called Wally.
He's a garbage robot. So it's robot versus robot. So let's start with Jonny 5. So Jonny 5's powers, and this is a common thing. I have Wally tattooed on me. That's interesting, Metronome. I'd love to know the reason why. So Jonny 5, often known for Jonny 5, was number 5 is alive. So he's got lasers. So he has a laser deployed on his left shoulder, which he uses to fight against his enemies, as well as destroy radios and cut down trees. I love that specific. It's like it's to destroy radios. In the second film, he replaced it with a red toolbox that is used for other gadgets. Nice. Movement. Jonny 5 has a 30-foot walking, and he can dash up to an additional 30 feet. Sorry, that's just D&D rules that I just made up. He has tire tank tracks.
What?
He has tire tank tracks on his feet, allowing him to move about and having a wheel behind him that allows him to jump or stand on his high tracks. He's got gadgets. He has a ton of gadgets displayed inside his body, which include a parachute, remote control, a plasma torch, and a grappling hook that activates at any time that he wants. Lastly, a multi-purpose arm. Jonny 5 has a multi-purpose arm on his right hip that allows him to cane gadgets in order to repair himself and jerk off enemies or friends.
Where are you seeing all of this?
I made all that up.
Link.
I made all of that up. That's what you call improv, baby. You disagree. He also has memory capacity of 512 megabytes online. So he's got pretty high capacity right there. Yeah.
There's nothing about radio on it. I'm so confused.
So, Justin, if you look at the link next to that one that says Kant, not cunt, but Kant.
Oh,
there you go.
Motherfucker. Why do we have two links on here? This is
because
confusing.
Our producer was kind enough to allow a more concise telling of what our stuff is. So there you go.
I like it. Okay, cool. Now I'm on board. Let's do this.
All right, Wally. Wally's abilities involve construction. and whistling at ladies in nice skirts as they walk by. While it's clear,
Wally.
While it's clear that Wally could have been made with more sophisticated technology, such as the LED eyes of Eve and several other kinds of robots, the design choices made for Wally favored durability and, most importantly, the easy replacement of parts. This allowed Wally to keep himself fully functional over his 7 centuries of service. I didn't realize that was 7 centuries. That makes sense.
I didn't either.
But that's a long one. Regeneration unit. He has a solar-powered regeneration unit as his power source, but it doesn't repair him if he gets damaged. So there you go. He has a control system, so control electronics that are contained within the cavity in front of his chest. All right. And trash disposal. Noah's like, he's a wall box, he's a plant, he's love, he's small, he learned to fight, he talks to Bug, but he doesn't talk. He just says, Wally and Eva. I think this is... You've never seen Wally?
Nope.
Oh, man. It's pretty good.
And I refuse to.
Okay. It's pretty good, man. It's a pretty good movie.
It's on principle.
But
I'll watch Mortal Kombat.
Right? Yeah, so I'd say this is pretty straightforward to me. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, it's Wally all the way, because he's love.
Nah.
He's got love.
I think
he's
Johnny
he's a
5
robot who can love.
Johnny 5 has a laser.
Right, but is it love?
I mean, he doesn't need love.
Ooh. I got you there. No, of course it's fucking Johnny 5. Of course it is. He's got tracks in his feet, allowing him to move about.
So does Wally. Wally has tracks.
Yeah, not like this. If you look at the tread on the.
Look at that. He's
Johnny
wearing
5.
denim and he's got a handkerchief and a cowboy hat. I mean,
I'm telling you, he's something else. Wally,
yeah.
Look at him. Like,
Noah goes, Kano also had a laser and he died.
That's true.
These are false.
How similar is Wally to Sonya Blade?
I mean, he looks like shit, and so does Sonya. She lives in shit, so you know.
Well, okay, so Wally probably works in the junkyard.
That's right.
Which is just Gary.
That's right.
Indiana.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Tent says Wally can move pretty fast with those treads. That's true. He can move pretty fast.
He does. And Slotty said Wally has the kind of idiot luck that makes him nigh impervious.
He dismantled stronger AI. Yeah, but that was by luck. And he also dismantled it because he put the plant in the thing where it needed to go. Like, he didn't actually manhandle the AI.
Let me ask you this. Does Wally have 512 megabytes of RAM?
I think he has more than that.
Does he?
Yeah.
You think?
I'm pretty sure he does, based on when he was created and what he's able to do. I think he has more than 512 megabytes of RAM. Noah says, is luck not a valid reason to win a throwdown? I'd say if you run the simulation, luck will win him a certain percentage of those simulations, but I think more often than not, Johnny 5 would win. He was originally built to destroy shit. Metronome says, I have 7 robots tattooed on me. I'd like to know more.
Okay. So would we. Quite frankly. Johnny 5 also has been fitted with multi-frequency remote controls, which can operate almost any electrical device. And he can control several devices at once. Does that mean he can control Wally?
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Also, his original portable power source has been replaced with a lithium argon liquid battery, which can provide enough power for 500 hours of operation. So if they are in the shade, Wally might be fucked.
Well, that's the thing is, Wally has to recharge himself every single day. So if he doesn't, then he's fucked. 500
hours.
Yeah.
And just saying, and if he's in battle, if Wally's in battle, that's going to drain that juice.
Maybe. Also, Johnny 5 has been decorated with numerous stickers, including Greenpeace slogans and Nike logos.
Just do it. Am I right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Liquid lithium argon battery is fake. You don't know that. I'm sorry, Noah. Are you a doctor? Are you a scientist? I don't think so, sir. By the way, check out Noah's stream at Noah Reno on Twitch. He streams. It's good stuff.
Parachute, remote control, plasma torch, grappling hook that activates at any time he wants. I don't know, man. I feel like Johnny Five's got this.
I think Johnny Five got this. He was originally designed as a weapon, so I think he has those capabilities. So
right? So like they roll up to each other, they fight, and then right before he delivers the final blow, you just hear,
Finish him!
yeah.
Then that grappling hook comes out, and he goes,
Get over here!
Pulls Wally in, and just lasers him right in half. And then you hear,
Fatality.
Flawless victory.
I was going to say, did he pull that? Did you pull those? I was like, of course he had to. I'm not even going to ask, you know?
come on. Yes.
Yes.
And we're saying, Johnny Five for the win!
It is decided.
It is decided.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That was a blast, man. That was so good. Such good stuff. Such good content. It was
All
good.
good things.
Justin, what do you have to recommend this week for our listeners and our viewers?
I would say check out on HBO Max, Harley Quinn, the animated series. It is fucking delightful. It is whoever greenlit this at DC, kudos to you, because it is self-deprecating. It takes the piss out of everything that everyone makes fun of DC for. It makes fun of itself, and it is wonderful to see that sense of humor. The voice acting is amazing, and it is a full adult cartoon. We're talking murder, death, kills, debating how big a giant's dick is. It is everything that you would want. And Bane and King Shark might be the two best characters ever written in this show. Ron Funches plays King Shark. It's amazing. And then also check out Ted Lasso on Apple Plus. If you want to wait until this summer, July 23rd, season 2 comes out. Wait for that season to drop fully. Get the 7-day free trial. Burn through those 2 seasons. And tell me that you don't want season 3. It's fucking amazing. Doug, what do you got?
I also saw this on vacation, Mike. Very cool. The Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15. It's a prequel to Justin. As soon as I said Final Fantasy 15, Justin just shook his head. It's on Netflix right now, and essentially it's a prequel movie to the game, and it sort of sets up everything. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't fully aware of what was going on at all times in this, but it was cool. It's very much some Final Fantasy stuff to it, where you're like, oh yeah, this is like overly dramatic and whatever, but very cool. It's a CGI movie. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. I kind of want to go back and watch it again. But not everything will probably make sense. But it sets up the game. So I say go check it out. It's on Netflix. It's The Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15. It's very exciting. It's very cool. Something else you should check out is make sure to follow us on Spotify. You should do that. We exist there. Do that. Go there. Watch us. Listen to us. Maybe not watch us, but listen to us. And anywhere else you find our podcast, we're there. Don't forget to also join our Discord community. Head over to twitch.tv/mindgappodcast. Down in the About section, you'll find a little box that says Discord. Click on that. Come join us. Be a part of the Throwdowns and suggest what you want us to do, what you want us to cover. And also join us for video game nights. Just share your memes and all that sort of stuff. We have a real good time. It's great. It's really big, cool. Also, check us out, twitch.tv/mindgappodcast. If you don't already, come by, drop us a follow. We'll let you know. We'll send out an announcement whenever we go live. Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central, we record our podcast live. Right here, you can interact with us like all these cool people are doing. And then Saturday nights, we do a video game live stream. We do crazy shit. The last Saturday we did Left 4 Dead 2, had a hoot and a half. It was so much fun. It was so good. And this Saturday, we're going to be playing Project Winter, which we've played before. They've updated the game. They've added a new map, and we're going to be betraying each other and murdering each other. Figuring out who's, the bad guy and who's not, and maybe murdering innocent people. Who knows? But it should be a lot of fun. Come check us out, 8 p.m. Central Time, Saturday. twitch.tv/MindGapPodcast. Also, don't forget to follow Mind Gap Podcast on all of our social medias at Mind Gap Podcast. Check us out on YouTube. Find our channel there. We post all of our episodes as well as clips and stuff from the show. And Justin exists digitally as well.
Sorry. Someone in the chat here, I should ban the word follow during one of these outros. That would be amazing.
You son of a bitch.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. You can click a button that will allow you to see when I post. See, I did it. At Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. And while you're in the online realm, check us out on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, on Google Podcast, on Stitcher, on Podbean, Verbal, all of the things. On Samsung now has their own podcasting app as well. You can find us, rate us, review us, share us around, give us a like. The big one is sharing, though. Please copy the link, send it out to your people, and just let people know that they need to listen to us, because the more people we bring in, the more cool shit we get to do, and we love doing cool shit for you. Also, TwoEast8th.com/mindgap, and then just keep an eye on all of Two East 8th stuff. This Saturday is the special backer screening for Sid Penrose.
I'm so excited.
Finally, Drew and I are going to do a little Q&A, so you can come ask us why it took us so long to get this out. And then we're going to have some special guests stop by too. Rob, who did the scoring for the film, is going to be there, and we'll be talking to him for a few minutes. Hopefully some of the actors drop by. We'll be talking to them. It'll be a good time. And then after that, it goes wide so y'all motherfuckers can see it. And then we've got, we got a whole bunch of stuff in the pipe right now. So please keep an eye out for that coming up.
How exciting. I'm so happy for you guys. I can't wait to see it, man. It's going to be really cool. Very, very cool. Thank you all for hanging out with us on Twitch. You're the best. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you. Justin's turn. I did it out of order. Your
Doug,
turn.
Listeners, I appreciate you, and we want to thank you as well as Doug. I want to say thank you for being you.
And Justin, thank you for being you.
You're welcome.
And you all have a dandy fucking week.
Mind Gap Podcast.